All right, update on the Schott engineer boot, supposedly made in the USA. See, it says it right there. And inside it says, made in USA with domestic and global parts. So they probably assemble something. Who knows what they do. Anyway, I put real heels on these, or had the cobbler do it. So last review was basically the boot as came out of the box. This went right to the cobbler and got an engineer heel put on. Higher. I'll flash in a picture how they looked. Still unworn. Oh, it's definitely an improvement. At least looks like an engineer boot now, because they call the logger's heel. And then I wanted to compare it to a few other engineer boots I got here. I'd consider this to be an average. This is pretty thin, okay? It's not like an impressive engineer boot, and I think they're $300. So I would consider it kind of a cheap pair of engineer boots. Not really garbage, but not impressive. Not lined. Fake pour on like vinyl lining in there. Not leather. All right, for comparison, here's a pair of Fries that have obviously seen some use. You know, this is a US Fry about 15, 20 years ago. I'd say a similar quality. This has a plastic welt. The leather's a similar thickness. Fry isn't, you know, again, nothing to write home about anymore. This is another pair of Fries here. I think they call these Brandos. These were a limited edition with the double top buckle. It's more of a dress. That came without an engineer heel. Came with this lower heel, which, you know, it's more comfortable for walking around. But that's more of a like Sunday go to meeting engineer boot. Again, not real thick. Decently made. You know, not heavy duty. There's pretty good flex on the sole there. So you can tell us that a good boot is how much flex you get when you rotate the sole like this. How much flex you get in that midsole area. That's not great. All right, then we got a pair of, these are definitely, this is where I got the heel pattern for the Schotts. I gave the cobbler these, told him I wanted it just like these. These are like a 60s or something boot made in Canada. And a generic engineer boot, really wide shaft. You notice that different on engineer boots is the shaft size. See how wide that is? As opposed to this. It's hard to get your pants over, and they tend to be a little more sloppy when you're wearing them. I don't think a wide shaft is a good thing. And then a real engineer boot. This is the Nicks. Oh my God, look how thick this leather is, okay? These things stand up by themselves. Look at this. Look, okay? And this has been worn and hasn't breaking, and that's belly leather on the shaft. But I mean, thick. It's like wood, but also supple. Look at how thick the strap is. I mean, that's crazy. Look at how thick that strap is. Solid brass hardware. This has an actual, I know it's stained over, but this has a leather, full leather sole, full leather outsole, okay? So there's a double leather sole, full leather stacked heel, and a half sole, which I actually had put on So I'm trying to match the Brando's boots, and they had a really thick sole. So this I added, had the cobbler put a half sole on. You can't get them that way, but you can definitely get the double leather sole. You can always have that done, it's not expensive. Soft toe, low profile toe. And these, just holding these up is tiring me out, they're so heavy. Twice the weight of this cheesy thing. Look at this. Okay. So that's, I think, $600-700. So for twice the price of those crummy Schotts, you get a real lifetime engineer boot that you can actually be proud to own and accomplish something in your life. I mean, I definitely would save you money and get these. You gotta wait for them. It's just a totally different thing. This thing is like made of nothing. These are made of like incredibly thick hide. So yeah, you can get 2 pairs of these or different colors or whatever, but it's not even in the same category, and it's still $300. But anyway, that's what it looks like with the engineer heel. Plastic midsole, rubber sole, a little piece of leather here in the welt to make you think you're getting a leather boot. But that is brown plastic, and that is rubber. I had them stack the heel with leather. So the heel's actually stacked. It isn't originally, it's plastic originally. There you go.